Welcome to Modern Motoring. I'm Jay, and with the 2026 Hyundai Kona, you can get it with a turbocharged engine or a naturally aspirated engine, front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So there is no shortage for consumers looking for something in the mainstream subcompact crossover market. Let's take a further look into the 2026 Kona, go through the perks, quirks, Irks, pricing and competition, and then you'll have everything you need to know about the 2026 Hyundai Kona. Starting off with our baseline numbers, there are two engines you can get with the 2026 Hyundai Kona. First up is on the Essential and Preferred. That's a 2-liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine, 147 horsepower, 132 pound-feet of torque, all through a CVT, or what Hyundai calls their IVT, and that can be equipped in either front-wheel drive or, for a little bit more money, all-wheel drive. Next up is the N-Line, which comes with a 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, 190 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. But the big difference here is they flip out that IVT for an 8-speed automatic, and it is all-wheel drive only. Two other sets of figures, and first one up is the cargo space, and it's 723 with the rear seats up. So pretty good, pretty versatile. And the fuel consumption, there's a few numbers here. So with the base naturally aspirated engine and the front wheel drive trim, it's 7.5 liters combined per 100 kilometers. And with the all wheel drive version, that jumps up to 8.5 liters per 100 kilometers combined. And it's a 47 liter fuel tank. The N-Line with the turbocharged engine comes in at 9 liters per 100 kilometers, and the fuel tank rises up to 50 liters, up from 47. Starting off with the perks side, and it's a pretty spacious interior. I don't feel too cramped in. The small asterisk here is it's a black interior, and my N-Line has the sunroof, the wider sunroof, not longer. So I think without the sunroof, it might feel a little closed in, but aside from that, the design itself is pretty spacious, pretty comfortable, and again, you don't have that claustrophobic-esque kind of feeling. The Kona drives pretty well, and yes, I know I have this top trim N-Line, and yeah, there's a little bit of extra power here, but it's small and it's easy to drive and it's easy to park and it's pretty nimble. So I don't really know if you need to get this 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. I think you'd be just fine with the naturally aspirated 2-liter, but overall, I don't think you're buying this for its power. I think you're buying it for A, budget, and B, something smaller that has a decent amount of space in it. But looping that all back to the driving side of it, I haven't driven the naturally aspirated engine version, but what I can say is there's more than enough power here. There's almost too much power for this class of vehicle here. I am impressed with the ride quality, given that it's a mainstream subcompact crossover. If something with a respectable drive quality is on your A list, then again, the nimbleness and the ease of driving as far as parking and the agility side of it, because it is, again, a subcompact crossover, the Kona does extremely well here. There's a lot of creative storage here on the Kona, starting with the little shelf in front of the front passenger. And this little centerpiece here has the retractable cup holders. There's a divider that you can remove, and the actual bin itself underneath the driver's right elbow is removable. So if you have something a little longer that just needs to have its own set space and you don't want to put it in the trunk or the back seat or the front seat or wherever, the creative storage space here in the Kona is pretty impressive. Another perk is you can get it in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and I know the Kona is not the only one that offers it. The immediate example that I can think of is the new Nissan Kicks. Same thing, but it's still a perk in this specific class of vehicle to be given the option as a consumer. Pretty solid list of standard safety features here, and highlights include blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, lane follow assist, and rear cross traffic alert. So your front, sides, and rear are covered, and there are a few more in addition to that. You get your wireless duo, which is CarPlay and Android Auto. That's standard fare, which is pretty good, as are your 3-stage heated front seats. For trims that are equipped with a 360 camera, it's pretty high res, and it has that feature where you can just swipe the vehicle itself and you get different angles from it. So pretty high tech, more of a luxury feature here in, again, a subcompact mainstream crossover. Thank you, Hyundai, for giving us physical buttons for the HVAC. And yes, there are 2 sets of 12.3-inch screens, so you get the high-tech modern side of it, but blending the traditional side with a bunch of physical buttons that are fairly large sized, so it's not a matter of taking your eyes off the road and squinting to find out which button you're pushing. Onto the Quirks side of things, and I don't usually go into exterior design too much. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different idea of what is attractive to them. But here in the Kona, the overall design shape is round and soft and bubbly, but within that, there are some sharper lines. So it's a bit of a quirky and interesting way to implement them both. The gear selector being a stock off the steering wheel is not new. I think the first time I saw it was with the, I think it was the 2022 Ioniq 5 when it first came out. It's a little quirky and it's an interesting place to put it, and without it being here, we'd lose a bunch of space for that center console area. And I know Hyundai has a variety of different types of gear selectors, but I'm happy it's here, so that's the perk side of it. And the quirk side is just, there's nothing quite like it as far as placement. I know some manufacturers do have stocks off the steering wheel for the gear selector, but nothing as quirky and as nice for that matter as this. I will always love the sounds of nature because it is such a unique offering in the automotive industry. And when it started out, it was just sounds. I would say, I think autumn, summer, spring, and winter as far as sounds go. There was a bustling city or cafe or something, but it was just sounds. And now the evolution of it has more sounds, more options, and there's music in the background as well. I genuinely wonder how many people out there actually listen to the sounds of nature options. If you don't want to listen to music or podcasts or talk radio or whatever it happens to be, I think it's a really cool and quirky thing. On to the Irks side of things, and the first one that comes up is the high fuel consumption with the N-line with the turbo engine, and it's 9 liters per 100 kilometers combined, and not the highest in class, but one of the higher ones. So to me, that's a bit of an argument to look at the Essential and Preferred, which have that 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. And part of me thinks if you're looking at a Kona, you're looking for something a little on the budget-friendly side. And it's not just a matter of how much you're paying for the vehicle, it's how much it costs to operate the vehicle, and fuel being one of those key drivers here. So I know Hyundai can't really do much of anything about reducing fuel consumption, at least for this generation. Maybe something in the mid-cycle refresh might do something, but know that there's going to be a trade-off. If you want more power, like any other vehicle, you are going to pay more in fuel. There are a lot of options here. There's the Essential front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, Preferred all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, and there is a package you can throw on to the Preferred side of things. And then there's the N-line, and then you can get a package on top of that. And for the class of vehicle, it seemed like there's a lot of options, and great for the consumer, but I worry there might be a bit of the analysis paralysis where you have too many options. This is a very minor irk, and I don't think it's going to affect buying decisions at all, but something I've noticed walking up to the car all week long is there's a significant wheel arch gap on all 4 wheels, and maybe they could have gone the plastic cladding route here on the N-line to just give it more of a, not streamlined look, but just more of a cleaner look. And I know that usually the plastic cladding is for off-road trims and gives it more of an aggressive, beefier look, but it's a very minor irk. Let's wrap up with pricing and competition. So the most inexpensive 2026 Hyundai Kona in Canadian MSRP figures will be the Essential front-wheel drive, coming in at $26,749. The most expensive 2026 Hyundai Kona is the N-line with the Ultimate package, and that's $39,399. And if you want all-wheel drive in either the Essential or Preferred, you're going to tack on another $2,000. And the Preferred, as is with the front-wheel drive version, is $29,249. So again, there's a nice big range. I hope it doesn't become the analysis paralysis side, but you have a lot of choices to make if you are looking at a 2026 Hyundai Kona. Competition for the Hyundai Kona includes the Kia Seltos, Mazda CX-30, Subaru Crosstrek, Nissan Kicks, Chevy Trailblazer, Honda HR-V, Toyota Corolla Cross, and the Volkswagen Taos. So no shortage of competition, which again is always good for the consumer. I like the Kona a lot. I like its quirkiness. I like how it drives, how it feels, how it doesn't feel closed in on the inside, and just the versatility of what the cabin has to offer. I wouldn't get the turbo engine. I'd be more than happy losing a little bit of power and saving some money on my weekly fill-ups, but that's just me. Let me know in the comments what you'd think, and that's gonna wrap it up for the 2026 Hyundai Kona. If you have any questions of what you've seen, let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to get back to you as soon as possible, and I'm always happy to engage in respectful conversations online. I invite you to join the Modern Motoring social media community. We are on all the major platforms, and without you, there is no Modern Motoring. So I thank you, I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.